Hey guys, it's Cassandra. Haley.deviantart.com. A while ago, people were asking a lot about if I was going to be doing videos, tutorials, Q&A, wanking. So yeah, I figured I would answer a few questions, things that Formspring likes to ask over and over, and never actually see if anyone else asked it before. Hard. Anyway, also I took random things just to fill up time. So hopefully I'm answering something that you actually give a shit about. How nice would that be? Alright. You obviously enjoy all your work, whether it be modeling, your photography, your drawings, your ability to piece together outfits, ... But here's my question. Of all these talents of yours, which would you most likely be forever known for and why? Smiley face. Alright. Realistically, I don't think I really do anything that no one's ever done before. So I would be happy just being known as the fashionable girl who kind of has her hand in everything. Well, visual mediums, at least. I don't think I could ever give up doing one thing or the other. I enjoy all steps of the process. I really love taking photos of others, but eventually I'm going to start pouting if I don't get to model for anybody else. Vice versa. That stands for the retouching, the styling, all that kind of things. What are your wardrobe must-haves, and where are the best places to get hairpieces? Similar, people always ask me where I get my outfits from, and that kind of ranges. It depends on the outfit, and I'm always like, what the fuck are you talking about? Which one? Send me a link. Wah! Very graceful. And some of it is from like thrift stores and stuff that I like to get for dirt cheap and then rehash, so safety pin. I would say safety pins is probably the best investment you'll ever have. Mainly because you could just pin different fabrics together and drape it artfully. Get a really shitty tailored garment for really dirt cheap. But if you have a safety pin in your fucking bag, you pin it, instantly it looks beautiful on you. Also, if you're not very good at sewing, it's a really nice way to add things to your clothing, style, panache. But that's not the only way I get my clothes, obviously. A lot of it is done by bartering. Either I draw stuff for people and they give me clothing in response, or, sometimes I'll model for a designer and they'll let me keep the clothing as, payment. Another thing, Etsy. Fucking Etsy. I used to say fucking eBay. No. Sorry. Etsy is my new love. Mostly because there's a variety of unique items that you're not going to find on eBay. So with Etsy, learn to use different keywords. Maybe you're looking for, I don't know. Maybe you're looking for garb for Rinendar.com. Maybe you're a wood elf. Maybe you're the Kelsey. Instead of typing in medieval clothing, you will get a lot of stuff for that, but learn to use something a little different. Type in organic or bohemian. You just type in like black skirt. You're going to get a shit ton of stuff that you don't give a fuck about. So learn to use unique keywords. You're going to find unique items for the unique keywords. Do it. Obviously, another thing that you could do to really expand on your wardrobe would be investing in wigs. Now, there's multiple reasons why you would want to have a wig collection. One of which is a lot of people have boring ass soulless jobs where they have to hide who they are. So you have a really boring haircut and ugly mousy hair. Sucks. But if you start investing in wigs, you're able to do different makeup looks, different clothing, the outfit, the cream and stuff like that. I could pretend to be a blonde. Yeah, blonde. Then you could do things like covering up your eyebrows with like glue sticks and stuff like that. And of course, there's 5 million tutorials on the internet about how to do your makeup, covering your eyebrows. A lot of drag tutorials are really fantastic because they show you the extremes, so you could always turn it down. There's a lot of fantastic tutorials out there, which is partially why I don't make my own, because realistically there's nothing I'm going to tell you that 5 million other people have not done so already. Now, where to get wigs? eBay. I know I said we were done, we were through, but I lied. eBay is still my favorite place to pick up wigs, mostly because of the expansive cosplay shops that are going on lately. I would avoid Halloween wigs, like it was going to castrate you if you came in 5 feet of them. mainly because they're way too shiny. Just don't waste your fucking money. It seems nice. $9, yay! But no, it's not worth your fucking $9. Move on and spend like $20-$30 to get an average long hair, colorful wig. I would say though, when you're looking for colors, to try and find something with multiple tones in it. Black colors will just look like a Halloween wig, and I told you to stay away from them. No one wants to be castrated. Anyway, hair extensions are also fantastic. I tend to wear my clip-in pigtails a lot, the ringlets, banana curls, mainly because I couldn't even do that with my hair when it was long. My hair is pinned straight and has no intention of being anything other than that. So yeah, extensions are great. You clip them in, you can get something that's natural, matches your own hair, or you can even get simple color streaks like the lavender and clip it into wigs as well. So, you could customize your own wigs so you don't have to worry about spending like $80, $100+ on something that seems really fantastic that you could do yourself. It says, "Hey girly, I have a question for you. How do you handle all the bullshit people throw at you on the internet?" I really wish I had a magical solution for you. For all the girls out there who, get picked on, have to deal with catty communities and stuff like that. Hell, even offline. I'm not going to be one of those people that says, no red pen, blah, 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 bullies are bad, hair. I think we do get a little overboard. I think you need to grow, dragon skin to deal with it, because realistically, there's no way you're going to please everybody. So be selfish and please yourself, because, for example, actually, as my wig's getting stuck, it's really hard because, for example, when I was 90 pounds, I got a lot of hate for me being pro-Ana. And while I am a bit of a fatty now, I still believe that people have the right to do as they please in that regard. They're not hurting other people, so it's their fucking business. But then again, I got a shit ton of hate when I gained weight too. So, who are you gonna please? They're strangers anyway. You don't know these people. So the question is really, why do you care? Can you care? Can you afford to care? Do you really have nothing else to do that you're gonna care what the strangers have to say about you? Because they're never gonna be happy. They're always gonna have something nasty to say about you. So like I said, be selfish. You need to be happy with yourself. And if that pisses people off in the process, well, fuck them. Another tidbit is that people only talk about other people if they are important. That sounds very self-centered, I know. However, it's true. If no one notices you, they're not going to shit talk you. So usually anyone who has something nasty to say about you is in their own way complimenting you by giving their attention to you. I'm not saying that what they're saying to you or about you or their behavior, in slandering you is, in any way excused. Not. It's childish and pointless. Get a fucking hobby. But, with that said, I would take it with a grain of salt. Because for every 2 people that are bitching about you, there's probably somebody else who's also really proud of what you do, really enjoys your work, thinks you're a fantastic human being. Take into consideration also this. If everyone loved what you did and who you were, then I would probably make the assumption then that they don't actually think about that. They don't put much weight into their opinions. I would rather have a lot of people hate me, because then they're at least thinking about it. Well, thinking about it. I don't know to what extent their cognitive abilities go. But, with that said, it shows that people aren't just mindlessly being like, I love you. No one wants a robot. If you get a compliment, you want to know that they actually thought it out and really do feel that way. Alright, another one. It says, do you blame male stereotypes for the prejudices you receive from being a nude model? Another one I had that kind of seemed similar was, why do you hate men? I know that sounds like they might not be related, but hear me out. I hate people equally. from the start, I don't really give people respect, like the respect and, you know, automatic assumption that they're awesome and nice. I think you really need to earn that with your actions. You know, you start from 0. Actually, probably you start from like a -3 with me, and then you work your way up. You don't start automatically with a full house of awesome. And that's regardless of what the fuck's hanging between your legs. You could be a mongoloid dictard, no matter what gender you are. So, you know, men, women, whatever, you're assholes. Everyone's assholes. They can be at all times. Whoever says they're not an asshole is really a big asshole. With that said, both genders are kind of responsible for perpetuating, you know, the stereotypes that surround nudity, nude modeling, and of course sexuality. To put it simply, there's nothing wrong with the act of sex itself. You know, it's not using a condom, spite fucking, being unsafe like that. Those are the bad things. But people tend to mix that up. They just, you know, clump it all together. And somehow people just don't want to spend the time and, you know, brain power to decipher the issue. And, you know, it isn't the act itself. It's the person's motives, habits, surrounding it. And I feel like that's the same scenario with nude modeling. Nudity is not something to disdain. We all fucking have it, as it were. So, you know, showing a nude body, I really cannot understand the whole... I really think it's probably people growing up and just automatically assuming society standards of response to that kind of thing. It's silly. Boys and girls do it. I mean, girls perpetuate it with the whole, you know, calling each other sluts and whores, because, let's face it, girls are catty no matter what. Some less than others, but by treating each other and calling each other's names like, oh, well, she's such a fucking, you know, whore, because you saw her naked on the internet, you automatically make some strange assumption about what her sex life is and what her ethics are. Makes no sense to me. So, you know, obviously I'm not even going to go into the issues of men. Men are retarded just as much as women. Sometimes more. Depends on the individual. So, no, I don't outright hate all men. Only men. Women suck too. I've always wondered, are you religious or spiritual? You pass off with your interest and knowledge as a good pagan, possibly even an occultist. Yes and no. It would be great if it was completely black and white, cut and dry, because the answer would be that much less winded. Oh well, when do you get? I believe organized religion constricts, you know, a spiritual path of a person. If you subscribe to a certain faith, you're almost like beholden to all its stigmas and ideas. What if I don't like certain ones? You know, once I say that I am blah, if I tell anyone that I am blah, they assume automatically that, you know, I believe all those things. You know, and I'm sure a lot of Christians get that too, because there are a lot of negative connotations that come with saying that you're Christian. You know, and not all Christians are stupid. Not all Christians, you know, hate everyone and believe they're all going to hell. I know plenty of Christians who even are all for gay marriage. But unfortunately, we all as people tend to clump things together. So I would rather not feel like I have to be constrained into a certain box of faith, as it were. I sort of like to take different ideas from different religions and mix and match to what I think really suits me, what I personally believe is true and feel strongly about. You know, simply put, I'm somewhat spiritual of a person, yes. You know, I leave out stuff for the fae, now and again. But I'm definitely not a one faith, you know. I will evolve, and so will my ideas, and I'm happy to change and grow with it. What is your point of view in love, relationship, and its correlation to commitment? This is a wide open topic. I think it really all comes down to communication and what people arrange amongst themselves. You know, for example, if Bobby and Sarah date one another under the pretense of monogamy, you know, or going straight, I don't know, what the fuck do you want to call it? You know, and Sarah goes off and blows some dude. Problems. You know, because you guys had a pre-established communication of what things were. Now let's say Mary and Sarah are in a relationship. I'm open-minded like that. You know, they have both spoken openly about seeing other people while they casually date one another. Mary sees some chick and Sarah blows the fuck up about it. I call you on bullshit. You guys both were under the communication of what you guys were doing, so no reason to go flipping out on that shit. Personally, I am openly, one of the sorts that believes in polyamory. Love isn't a quantifiable item. I don't love someone and give them 2 tokens of my love and thusly only have 1 more token to distribute. Mathematical thought process is so unappealing and horribly unromantic, which is kind of ironic. For those of you who don't know, polyamory is the practice, desire, or acceptance of having more than one relationship at a time with the knowledge and consent of your partner. And that's, and everyone involved. Partners, I guess, plural. And that's really the key right there. The knowledge and consent. Not only are you communicating about it, but everything's agreed. People with, beliefs in polyamory have varying views of it. You can fucking Wikipedia that shit and it'll tell you 5 different variants. But I do not believe that it is a card for you to justify walking around fucking everything with both legs. That's disgusting. That really is the key to, relationships, in my opinion. Whether you're practicing monogamy or, you only fuck rabbits on Tuesdays, just be open and talk to your partner about it, and I think everything will be fine. I cannot imagine you as a dominatrix. You always seem to be more of the other way around to me. Alright. I think people have had enough fun demonizing me. It almost reminds me of those really hulky tabloid papers you look at the desk at Shop and Stop. Everything's exaggerated to the umpteenth degree, so I think everyone can understand why it took me a little while to decide if I was going to be open about that aspect of my interests. The fact that my personal bedroom life is not the same as what I do with slaves. You don't always want the same food every day, do you? Because I don't. Variety is spice. I don't have sex with any of those critters whatsoever. That would be disgusting. I will point out, though, that there is a difference between the stereotypical, view of a dominatrix, like cat o' nine tails, tacky PVC, straps. Like there's anything as demasculating as getting the shit kicked out of you and humiliated by a girl in a frilly pink dress. So I even take heat from the dom scene about my unorthodox way of dressing for, I guess, being a dom. And I think most people, when they hear dominatrix, they also assume that it's like fisting and it's just, I don't know. That's not everybody's cup of tea. And it's probably just much more fun to believe that that's what I'm doing. So, I guess, go ahead. I also think don't you think it's a bit of a delightful symbiotic relationship, though? I mean, obviously, I'm not exactly victimizing them. If they didn't want to be abused, they wouldn't be begging me in email to do it. So, what's the problem? Alright, next up is, I have to ask because I'm curious. I think most people are when they ask questions, but okay. What do your ma and pa think about you being a nude model and humiliatrix? Like I said before, I'm 100% open about what I do, how I feel, how I dress like, and my family's pretty good about it. I'm sure a lot of people do not have that luxury. I mean, growing up, my mom had some issues with how I dressed and, my behavior, but now she fucking drives me and models to the nude beach and looks out for cool locations for me and stuff. She's very cool about it now. She's toned down and she realized that it wasn't a phase, and she seems better for it. And the same is for my dad. While my dad probably doesn't like admitting that his daughter's naked on the interwebs, he's actually, cool. He says he's proud, whatever that means. And my grandma as well. I mean, I guess I can't be excommunicated if my grandma still, talks about me to strangers. And then I actually posted this question on Facebook, because I answered this one already. But my grandma says, Casey, I have been proud of you since the day you were born. I respect the fact that you are your own person. You're beautiful, extremely talented, and if there are people who do not like the way you dress or what you do, fuck them. People need to stop judging others. Love you, Grandma. So, I think that's the coolest thing ever, and I figured I would share it since it was pertaining to the question. Let's see. And then lastly, someone said, what did you look like as a kid? I posted pictures of me in my class picture in grade school wearing a black lace-up dress type thing in high heels and thigh highs. Not a lot's changed, but I will post, I guess, pictures in a minute if you want to see mini-me. I guess if you guys liked the video, let me know and I will do more. Otherwise, as my grandma says, fuck 'em.